Hello, I'm Kris from the FPL GW and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video for the 2020-2021 season. In today's video, we'll talk to you about those teams that have a double game week fixtures now. Some of them have double game week fixtures because they have an extra fixture, while some others have double game week fixtures because their fixtures for game week 36 have been moved now to game week 35 and they will actually have a blank game week in game week 36. Those teams at the end of the video are actually teams that do not have any double game week, but they have very good fixtures now in game week 35, 36, 37 and 38. That is the end of the season. If you are new around here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you have anything FPL related that you want to ask me, feel free to do it down in the comment section. We'll try to give you a fast reply. Thank you, and let's begin. The first team now that has double game week for game week 35 but has a blank game week in 36 is Manchester United. I do believe that they will do really good now in those double game week fixtures, as they have done very good throughout the whole season. When they do score a goal, it mainly happened through Fernandes now throughout the whole season, and when Fernandes was not involved, and in that case it was pretty much Greenwood or Rashford. I do believe that this is going to continue to happen. I believe that Fernandes is their essential and key player, mainly because he's on penalties and he has been performing very good throughout the whole season. His form have been down now in the last couple of game weeks, but I believe that is going to change now. As for Greenwood, he is the form player. His form have improved a lot now in the last couple of game weeks. If you want to go for him, then you should not be mistaken, as you could easily bench him because he does not seem to cost that much. The next player that have that very good potential is Rashford. He has been performing very good throughout the whole season. He was previously injured, but he's fit and ready to do very good now, as I believe he is a very vital differential that has very good potential to do good. And if you want to go for some of their defenders, that you could potentially even go for Shaw, as he does seem to be their most attacking minded defender they have. And when we compare him to Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and all those others. The second team that has a double game week but then they have a blank game week in game week 36 are Leicester United. I do believe they have few players that could potentially do really good now for these double game week fixtures. They have few players that have improved in form lately. That seem to be Iheanacho. His form have improved drastically now in the last couple of game weeks, and I believe that is only going to continue. As for Vardy, he has been a very good player throughout the whole season. His form have been down now in the last couple of game weeks, but now is the time when they play against Newcastle and against Manchester United, so they could potentially score even a few goals in this one. Vardy seemed to offer us very good captaincy potential, as well as Iheanacho. If you do not want to go for their strikers, or if you want to combine them with their defenders, then they do have few defenders you could potentially take a look at. Kustan seemed to be a fullback that is very attacking minded, but he comes at a mid price of 5.7 or 5.8 millions. And as for Fofana, he is a centre back that actually plays as a fullback from time to time and deliver balls into the box, and does seem to offer us a bit lower attacking FPL return potential than Kustan, but he does cost around 0.7 millions less. As for the third team that has a double game week now in game week 35 but has a blank game week in 36 are Chelsea. Chelsea have been doing particularly well. Central to cover their defense have drastically improved. There are few players that seem to be guaranteed starters, while few others seem to continue to rotate. You could potentially go for Mount, as he does seem to be their vital and key player that has very good potential to do good attacking wise and defensive wise. Then if you do not want to risk it and go for Mount, you could potentially even go for some of their strikers, as Werner does seem to be a guaranteed starter at the moment, and I believe that is only going to continue to happen. His form have been up and down throughout the whole season, so guys, I don't really recommend you to go and jump on Werner, but I still do believe that he has very good potential to do good in the double game week. If you want to go for some of their defenders, as I've said, it is their defense that have improved drastically now in the last 10 to 15 game weeks. I believe you could potentially go for Aspilicueta, as he does seem to be a guaranteed starter. He does seem to offer us very good clean sheet potential no matter the opposition. And Mendy does seem to be a goalkeeper that is a guaranteed starter for this team and does seem to offer us very good bonus for saves made, as well as very good clean sheet potential, mainly because he does play for that improved Chelsea defense. The fourth and last team that has a double game week in 35 but no game week in 36 are Arsenal. They have not so many good players to go for right now. So many have been injured, so many are rotating each other. I believe there are perhaps only two good players you can potentially go for. The first one is Holding. I believe that he is a good player to go for, mainly because he does seem to be one of those cheapest starting defenders. He costs only 4.3 millions. He has wonderful double game week fixtures now. I believe that he is going to play at least in one of them. Then you could just bench him for that game week 36, as he does not seem to take so much of your budget, so you could potentially go and focus on some other players. But it is game week 37 and 38 where I really want this guy. Then they have one youngster that has improved a lot, and that is Martinelli. You could potentially even go for him. He does not cost a lot. He has very good and have had increased minutes now for the last couple of game weeks. I believe that is only going to continue now, even to the end of the season. The first team now that has a double game week in 35 and actually have fixtures for 36 and perhaps even few good fixtures to the end of the season now, Southampton. They do offer us few good players we can potentially go for, but we need to be very careful, as Southampton have not been performing that good throughout the whole season. But I believe they still have few good players you could potentially go for. The one I really trust is ward-Prowse. He's on penalties, he's on free kicks, he's on corners. He does seem to have very good attacking F2 potential, mainly because of those set pieces I just mentioned. Then the next player you could potentially go for is Walker-Peters. He was a fantastic player before the injury. He was very attacking minded, he was very defensive minded. He actually attempted a lot of assists, he actually attempted a lot of shots, many of them on target, but he got injured. His form dropped a lot. Southampton's form dropped a lot, but I still do believe that Walker-Peters does seem to be a very good player to own, as I believe that he is going to continue to attack. The next player I could potentially go for is Armstrong. He's a midfielder as well. He has been very creative. He has a lot of attempted assists, a lot of total shots. So if you do not want to spend the budget and go for ward-Prowse, as I believe you should, he costs only 0.5 or 0.7 more than Armstrong, then you could potentially just settle for Armstrong to not risk that budget. And as for the last player you could potentially go for is their goalkeeper, McCarthy. Now I would not recommend you to go for McCarthy if this was any other occasion, but they do seem to have very good fixtures now for this particular game week 35. They have very good fixtures followed in game week 36 as well. Next team that has a double game week now in game week 35 and have fixtures for game week 36 are Everton. They do seem to offer us few good players we could potentially go for. They have three good defenders or goalkeepers we can target. Pickford does seem to be their number one goalkeeper, and he does seem to be a guaranteed starter as well. If you want to go for this goalkeeper, you will not regret it, is I believe they have very good double game week fixtures, and they have very good fixtures followed after that double game week as well. If you want to go for their defenders, you could potentially go for Digne. Digne has been well known throughout the whole season. He has been well known throughout the last season as well. He's very attacking minded. He does attempt a lot of assists, so his attacking and potential seem to be very high. But Coleman, this guy costs around 1.5 million less than Digne, but has improved a lot lately. He has more attempted assists than Digne, he has more total shots than Digne, so I do believe that his attacking potential is even perhaps higher than Digne now for the next couple of game weeks, so he most definitely should be a player you could consider. When it comes to DCL and Richarlison, these are two players I do not want to take a look at, as they share their attacking potential. So if not for these two, we could potentially go for Rodriguez, as his form have improved a lot lately, to be honest. He had a fantastic form at the beginning of the season, then some injuries strike, then he got rotated in so many game weeks, but now he does seem to get more guaranteed minutes every week, and he does seem to offer us excellent attacking ability and potential for that double game week and for those following game weeks after that to the end of the season. But just before I move on, I would like to remind you to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and please don't forget to subscribe if that is something you have not done already. Thank you, and let's continue. As for the next team that has a double game week and have fixture for game week 36 are Crystal Palace. They seem to have that best double game week fixtures now for game week 35, and I believe they will be able to perhaps keep it clean in I hope in both of them, and I believe they will be able to score in both of them, as well as both seem to be very weak defenses, and they do seem to have pretty good fixtures even followed after that. They have few good players you could potentially go for. Zaha seemed to be the best player they've had now for the last 5 to 10 game weeks. He does seem to be the best player they've had throughout the whole season. He's very attacking minded. He's actually a striker, and even though he's listed as a midfielder here, he does seem to offer us that striker's potential. The next striker you could potentially go for is Benteke. He does seem to be a guarantee starter as well. His attacking ability and potential might not be as high as Zaha's, but his price is much lower. The next one is Eze. This youngster has improved a lot. He's on the set pieces as well. He does get to take some corners. He does get to take some free kicks. This is the main reason I believe that he offers increased attacking ability and potential, especially because they do have fantastic fixtures coming up now in the next few weeks. As for the last player you could potentially go for from this team, it is the only defensive player that I really like, and I see good potential in him, is Guaita, their defender. Their goalkeeper does seem to be a guarantee starter. He is their number one keeper. He does seem to offer us excellent potential for bonus for saves made, but as well as excellent clean sheet potential, mainly because of those fantastic fixtures. The last team that has double game week fixtures for 35 and have fixtures for game week 36 are Aston Villa. They have been performing very good throughout the whole season. Unfortunately, Grealish got injured, so their form dropped a lot, but I still do believe they have very good potential in some of their targets. Now let's say Martinez. He has been the number one goalkeeper throughout the whole season. I really do believe that he has very good potential to continue to do good. Now if you choose Martinez, if you want to bring him into your team to target that double game week, or to perhaps even keep him to the end of the season, he's a goalkeeper that offers very good potential for bonus for saves made, but as well as very good clean sheet potential. The next defensive player from this team that you could potentially target is Target. He does seem to be the fullback and the only defensive player they have that seem to be offering us any attacking ability and potential. It might not be that greatest attacking ability and potential, but hey, Target gets involved in goals from time to time. And if you want to go for some of their attacking minded target, I would recommend you go for Watkins, as he does seem to be the only guaranteed attacking minded target they have right now. He has been performing. His form have increased a lot lately. Now I believe that he'll learn to play the game without Grealish help, and I believe that he's actually going to continue to do very good now, even to the end of the season. As for the first team now that has no double game weeks, but have fixtures in all of the following game weeks now to the season's end, and actually all of these fixtures do look to be very good, is West Ham. West Ham have few good players you could potentially go for example Lingard. He has been very good and fantastic player now for the last 10 to 15 game weeks. His form did increase a lot since he started getting starts for that West Ham team. I only believe that is going to happen, as West Ham have one of the easiest fixtures now to the end of the season. If you do not want to go for Lingard, as so many players are actually bringing him to their team right now, and so many players they have already brought him in. Then you could potentially even set it for Bowen. He does seem to be an excellent differential with increased attacking ability and potential, mainly because his form increase and because they have wonderful fixtures. Then you could even potentially go for some of their defensive targets. Then you could potentially go for Kufol. He does seem to be the only defender that offers very good attacking ability and potential. Previously it was Cresswell that had that best potential, but he seemed to be injured right now. I am not sure exactly when he should be making a comeback, and if he makes a comeback, will he be fit and ready and be playing as good as he previously did. So yes, Kufal should potentially be a good target now for you to go for and keep even to the end of the season. The next team that has no double game weeks but have very good fixtures to the season's end and have very good players to target is Tottenham. Yes, they do have few good players you could potentially go and target. Kane seemed to be and remains essential players now to the end of the season, no matter they do not have double game weeks. He plays against Leeds away now in game week 35, then they play against Wolves at home in game week 36. So guys, I believe that Kane is going to smash these 2 game weeks, as they have 2 tough fixtures in game week 37 and 38, so they need to secure 3 points now in these easy fixtures. If you do not have the money or you do not have attacker striker slot, you could potentially even go for Son. He does seem to be very good midfielder. He has been performing very good throughout the whole season, and now his form did dropped drastically in the last couple of game weeks, but I still believe that he's a player that could explode from time to time and bring in a very high return. That's what kind of player he does seem to be. If you do not want to go for their attacking players, you could potentially go for only one defensive player they have and seem to be a guarantee starter. That is Hugo Lloris. He does seem to offer us very good potential to keep it clean, mainly because they have very good fixtures and because their defense have actually improved a lot lately. And I do believe that he is very good potential to earn that bonus for saves made, as well as he does seem to be a fantastic goalkeeper. As for the last team you could potentially target that has no double game weeks but have fantastic fixtures to the end of the season are Liverpool. Liverpool have one essential player that I believe have that best potential to do good now out of all Liverpool players. That is Salah. He's on penalties, he's on some free kicks, he does seem to be very good in attacking minded target. He has been involved in lots of goals throughout the whole season. I believe that this is only going to continue because they do have one of the easiest attacking upcoming fixtures. The next target you could potentially go for if you do not have the money now, or you perhaps already own Salah but you wanna double up on that Liverpool attack. I don't recommend that, but it's up to you to do it. You could potentially even go for Jota. He does seem to be at a mid price. He does seem to be a guarantee starter with guaranteed minutes that seem to be offering us wonderful attacking ability and potential, because he does know how to explode and how to score a goal, this guy. As for the last player you could potentially go for from this team, that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He does seem to be the most attacking minded target out of all their defenders, and he does seem to offer us very good clean sheet potential, mainly because they have fantastic fixtures. So if you thought this video was of any help, then please do give it thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if that is something you have not done already. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.